Hello everybody, I'm making this little video in tribute of Ron Bahilia. As you can see, he only puts that picture of himself on Facebook on the 8th of June. To me, well, he was quite a gentle fellow. We'd had quite a few chats. We were due to talk to each other last week, but I noticed that he wasn't on Facebook. So I thought, well, as he didn't like the system we were in, he wasn't paying his bills. I thought maybe they'd cut his electricity off or cut his internet off. So on Sunday, because I could see he'd not been on now for a week, that I left a message saying, I hope everything's all right. Ron, you've not been on. To get a message from his aunt. His aunt told me that last Saturday, a week ago Saturday, I don't know what happened exactly. No one does. The police shot him dead outside his house. He was 55.
Hey, I just had a big revelation because, Sophia, during my 4-day deal, answered every question but two. And one was my purpose. What is my purpose? What do you want me to do? What's my job? Well, I finally got that answer. I'm Ronnie Christ. I'm not Jesus Christ because I ain't that tall and I ain't Jewish and I ain't got a beard. I'm short and German descent, and I'm Ronnie Christ. That's my job. I'm Christ. That's how I'm a knower. That's how I got all these answers. I finally figured it out, and I'm telling everybody. Peace. I love you. There was something on your channel later if you want to in a couple of weeks or whatever. I don't know. I thought about it. It's on my mind. I got to tell the world somehow. You might be the first interview with Jesus. You can go tell all your friends, oh, you want to talk to Christ? Yeah, he's a friend on my Facebook page. And you think I'm kidding, but I'm 100% for real. It's the real thing.
I suppose he'd woken up and didn't like the system we were in. I don't know if he was rambling that on his porch. We've thought, Americans, they pay land tax. Maybe the police had come to arrest him because he hadn't paid his land tax or something, and he'd be going, get off my land. But supposedly he was firing a gun into his house, which I find incredible. Why would he be firing into his house? And a witness said he just turned round, so he wasn't actually aiming at the officers, but some trigger-happy person there decided as he turned round they shot him. Multiple bullets, killed him. Killed him. I just can't believe it. He's been someone that I've been talking to for months now. And I just can't believe that they took his life.
Yeah, I don't think I thought about you, Karen. I ain't gonna lie. I'm up all night and half the day. I call it fellowship and just talking to people, trying to help people, putting stuff online. But like I say, I'm going to try to explain the best I can, but when you're born again and have a virgin birth, forget what the church tells you. They can't perform it. It's something God does. You can ask Claudio about it. He knows. And it kills your ego. So then you go to what New Agers call the dark night of the soul, because you don't know who you are. Your whole identity just got stripped away. You see what I'm saying? So you don't know who you are. So you're really lost. And, you're experiencing all that, but now you're trying to figure out how to work. Because your brain, one side's God, the other side's Lucifer, but they're both God. They're just different spirits. One's a loving, great, nothing but love spirit. And Lucifer's more of a will to want to do things. He's about love, loyalty, respect. And if he don't get that things, he comes out and they call it evil. I don't think it's evil, if you ask me, to want people to respect. You know what I'm saying? But hey, everybody's got their own definitions. They ain't about definitions and labels. But I was just saying, the dark night of the soul. Look that up online, or 3 days of belly to whale. It was almost 6 months for me, because I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was out of it, and I realized I really wasn't until just probably last week. But you have to learn to balance some energies where two becomes one. You gotta know when. You see, the way I ain't gonna lie, because I don't lie. The way I did Al and stuff, that was, I couldn't control the energies. I hadn't figured it out. You know what I'm saying? I was trying. Don't get me wrong. That's what I'm not saying. You never met the old Ronnie, and he's dead. But I got all his memories. You know what I'm saying? But he's dead. Now it's kind of, it's me. I'm here to do the will of the universe, to God have you on set. I ain't here to fit into society's terms, because the day you were born, Karen, Your mama looked at you and said, her name's Karen. She's white. She's Christian. She lives in so-and-so. She's of this, state, this nation, blah, blah, blah. When you're not, you're none of that. You're you're a child of the universe. And you was born here, and they put all these labels on you, so you build an ego like everybody. Everybody does it. You want to make your parents happy and the people around you happy. So you try to form to their construct, and you forget the real you, your real mission, your real reason here. I mean, seriously, that's the best explanation I can give for it. And when my ego was going, I didn't know. I mean, I was still trying to do, because I had this pressure on me to try to tell people what God told me. I mean, I did. It's the way of the world. And people think, oh, you're comparing yourself to Jesus. No, I'm not. I'm telling you, I experienced what Jesus was talking about. And I'm here just like he was to tell you about the Bible God being the demiurge, the trickster. There's a bunch of different names for him, but he ain't the real God. But he is the God of this world. He's the one that offered Jesus the world for that, and Jesus wouldn't take it because he knew it wasn't his to give. That he only gets to people that believe his lies. Him and the creator got to deal with like a college or a school. He's like the principal, the dean. You know what I'm saying? He's educating these people here. And if they don't get education, they don't pass, they fail. That's what Jesus was trying to say. So I have learned better terms and have to control my energy and stuff. But I still love you. Like I say, you tried to help me put these videos out for stuff. And I love you. I ain't gonna lie. I love everybody. But, I'm better at controlling my energy. And I ain't a bad guy. You know what I mean? But I'm just me. You know what I mean? I can't be nobody else. But I'm actually performing for the universe. I'm not man. I don't care about these boxes and all this stuff going on here. I'm here to tell people the truth. I ain't trying to convince nobody nothing. I ain't got nothing to sell. I ain't here to convince nobody nothing. If they can't see the truth and understand the truth, they're not ready. You know what I'm saying? They're not ready. So I ain't to worry about them. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth. I'm here just to put the information out there. And if they recognize it and it resonates with them, they might be ready. They'll be close. But that's the best way I know how to put it. And ask Claudio about the definition I just gave you about the two different gods. That's about the simplest way I know to explain it to people. You know what I mean? Because the Creator God has endorsed Yahweh. He's letting Yahweh do what he's doing. There ain't no doubt about that, because he controls everything. But he wants seekers. He wants people that won't know. He don't want people that goes to church on Sunday and puts their faith in that man's hands up there preaching and telling them what that book means. He wants you to find out for yourself. Everybody's got an individual path. Everybody, there's an individual path. There ain't no stairway to heaven or escalator where everybody can line up. It ain't how it works. And I'm just being honest. The secret teachings of Jesus, that's all you need. Don't worry about the Bible. It's got truths in it, but it's got lies in it. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's too hard to decipher all of it. Just get that and you'll be on your way. I mean, that's what Jesus was talking about. You can't serve two gods. You can't serve Yahweh and the Creator. And I never believed in Yahweh. I always prayed to the Creator. And the Creator recognized that after all these years. I knew he wasn't my God. And I said I'm way better now. I ain't gonna lie. But truthfully, I ain't wanting to bring up. I'm just saying, I talk to my friends blunt and straight out, because I expect if they can't take me, they don't need to be my friend, because that's the way I am. But if I'm going to be doing a video for you, I want to know, and I'll speak, because I'm trying to present something to the world. I'm trying to get the world to listen. I ain't trying to be me, because I know a lot of people don't get me. I try to be a little better. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I love you. And I love talking to you. We had some good talks, but I have learned better to control my energy and use it. But right now, because everybody's evolving, like you say, if you ain't evolving, if you're stale, you're not moving, you're like water. Water, you don't move, it gets stale. But as long as it's moving, it's fresh, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm always evolving. Right now, at the stage of my evolvement, I'm trying to balance out the energies. And what I wrote on Facebook earlier, people, they think I'm all light, because, I tell my virgin birth, no. I got as much darkness as I got light. I know good from evil. I got them both. And that's why I'm walking the middle path. I'll meet you on either side you want to meet on. You know what I mean? If you treat me good and blah, 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 I'm going to be on that side. But I ain't here to take no shit neither. You know what I mean? I can step off the path either way. That's called the middle path. And I told God that. When he anointed me, I'm like, I ain't going to be crucified. I ain't going for it. And he said, that ain't your job. Your job's just to tell them. Not to convince them or nothing. Save nobody. Nobody can save nobody but themselves. Everybody's got to save themselves. I love you, and this message getting long. I don't want to do you like that. But hit me up later if you ain't busy, like I say. And we'll talk, because I'll be going to bed here in a few minutes. I'll be up around 12 here. It's 5 hours, 6 hours from now. But peace. I love you. Take care.
Such a waste. Such a waste. Anyway, I'm so sorry, Ron. that this happened to you. I don't know what the truth is. And obviously his aunt messaged me, and I spoke to his aunt, who didn't have any more information than what they're printing in the papers or what the news is saying. But you know what? 21 police cars turned up. In one picture she looked at, she could see 30 police officers. They'd already killed him when a lot of these officers turned up. I wonder what the hell happened there. It's been put down as a homicide. I pray some justice happens for Ron. I just cannot believe that he'd be out there with his gun. Unless he was drunk. I just don't know, but you know, if you're in America and the police tell you to put your gun down, what would you do? Put it down or fire at them or fire into the house? So I don't really know what's gone on, but just so sad to think that he was killed outside his house. But the aunt says that her son went there and couldn't really find the blood spots about where he was shot. He couldn't find them. And that's crazy in itself, isn't it? But hopefully the aunt stays in touch with me and lets me know what happens, because they're doing some sort of investigation, and on the 31st of July they're going to announce it. It'll be in one of the newspapers. It said it would be a video on YouTube. I'm just going to play the videos that they're putting out about his death. It's just awful. And you know the really sad thing? The aunt told me that they were sitting on their porch and they heard it all. They heard all the gunshots, they heard all the police coming. I had no idea it's for their nephew. Oh, it just sounds like an American film. Who would want these police officers? They could have fired him and knocked him out, you know, with a drug. They could have tasered him maybe. But to shoot him dead, I do not believe he was firing at the police officers. But who knows? I wasn't there. And nobody's going to know the story because they'll cover it up. That's what I think. But anyway, let's just play the horrible little video they put out about his death. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is in tribute for Ron. I'm so sorry, Ron. Thanks very much.
With breaking news.
Sounded so close that it sounded like it was behind her fence, and you can smell the gun go off. Like, I could smell it. Like, it was fresh.
That breaking news right now. Shots fired in Greenville County. We're learning more from Sheriff Hobart Lewis. A suspect is dead. This is a live look at Arch Street in Greenville between Pendleton Road and West Blue Ridge Drive. Sheriff Lewis says that dispatchers actually received a call around 8 o'clock saying that someone was shooting into a home, telling Fox Carolina that dispatchers could hear those gunshots through the other side of the phone. When deputies arrived on scene, they say that it tried to calm the suspect down. However, he started shooting at deputies. That's when a deputy fired back, killing the suspect. And those police sirens or deputy sirens that you hear right there, that's a sound that many people heard throughout Greenville County as deputies were rushing to the scene. This is what it looked like a little bit earlier. And the video that you just saw was taken by a viewer near downtown Fox Carolina, actually speaking to neighbors in the area who heard the gunshots, witnessed that chase, and even smelling that smoke from the gun.
My boyfriend was in the backyard with the dogs, and then we heard 6 gunshots. I came rushing out, and we saw a cop car that came around the corner without his lights on. And then that's when we heard the chase. It sounded like a bunch of cop cars were chasing around the neighborhood. But it sounded so close that it sounded like it was behind her fence, and you can smell the gun go off. Like, I could smell it. Like, it was fresh. So we thought it was there. And we just kind of watched the chase, and then at that time it took less than 10 minutes and there was 10 cop cars down the street.
Terrifying moments for people who lived right near that scene. She also says a little girl playing on a trampoline was nearby when those shots started, and her boyfriend actually quickly rushed to help that child get inside. Now we're taking another live look out at the scene right now. This is what it looks like. We know that the coroner is on scene. Sheriff Hobart Lewis says that they're not releasing the name of the suspect right now, but we do know from the coroner's office that it is a male in his mid to late 50s. deputies, and as they're still working on a motive. Again, Sheriff Hobart Lewis giving us as much information as he can right now, but they are working to put the pieces together of tonight, how this all transpired, really working on a motive as to what led up to this suspect shooting into a home there on Arch Street to begin with.
The other day I put my video out about the passing of Ron, who was shot by the police. But the stories are very strange about his death. Although the police are going to put a video out on the 31st of July about how he died. They're calling it a homicide. That is a picture that's on his Facebook, so I suppose that, well, it might be the man that I put on the other video. I wasn't sure if it was the same man, but I suppose put a hat on him and leaning back. Maybe it is the picture of the other one. But that definitely is Ron. He had a nice face. I never actually asked to put the camera on, even though we talked a lot. And so I actually thought that he was a much bigger man. Maybe he was. I think he told me he was, and he's lost some weight. But that was a picture of Ron. But the stories just keep changing about what happened to him. So there's one story where he's on the porch, he's shooting into his house. The police tell him to put the gun down. He turns around, they shoot him. And then there's also this article that this woman has said on one of the TV reports. So we'll just play a little bit of that article.
Sheriff Lewis says that dispatchers actually received a call around 8 o'clock saying that someone was shooting into a home, telling Fox Carolina that dispatchers could hear those gunshots through the other side of the phone. When deputies arrived on scene, they say that they tried to calm the suspect down. However, he started shooting at deputies. That's when a deputy fired back, killing the suspect. And those police sirens or deputy sirens that you hear right there, that's a sound that many people heard throughout Greenville County as deputies were rushing to the scene. This is what it looked like a little bit earlier. And the video that you just saw was taken by a viewer near downtown Fox Carolina, actually speaking to neighbors in the area who heard the gunshots, witnessed that chase, and even smelling that smoke from the gun.
My boyfriend was in the backyard with the dogs, and then we heard 6 gunshots. I came rushing out and we saw a cop car that came around the corner without his lights on. And then that's when we heard the chase. It sounded like a bunch of cop cars were chasing around the neighborhood. But it sounded so close that it sounded like it was behind our fence, and you can smell the gun go off. Like, I could smell it, like it was fresh. So we thought it was there. And we just kind of watched the chase, and then at that time it took less than 10 minutes and there was 10 cop cars down the street.
So this person I've been talking to for months was on his YouTube channel, a bit of a funny video where he's cursing a bit, but I think it's because he could see the faces in the footage where he's filming. I mean, you either see them or you don't, but he was a man who was waking up and realizing that life was very different to he thought. But to me, he was a gentle person, fairly gentle, a Gemini, so he talked a lot, filming these weird things outside his house, these orbs and all these weird things. And maybe it wasn't so interesting to other people, but he could see all this stuff. I think they've taken his computers, actually, because it might have filmed what happened. But that was outside his house, so he would had to have been shot outside his house. But maybe the disturbance started then, or they could see when he left the house, I suppose. But I don't trust the police, so, you know, what they did to him. So there are these stories where he's killed on his doorstep, and there are stories, like that woman says, where he was running away from the police because they had some kind of summons for him. But what that was, or maybe they had something to come into his house, I could imagine him getting quite irate and going, "Get off my land." But did the argument start there? Because if he was shooting into someone else's house, then he was where that lady says, next to her. And by that time they would have known it was Ron, and they would know that he lived, I don't know, it doesn't say how many, but say 4 or 5 houses up the road. So you wouldn't have smelt the gun just there when it happened. So what does that mean? That he was running away from the police and they shot him? She says she heard 6 shots. And then suddenly this man is all over the news. So they did it sort of between the 15th, no, maybe 16th, 17th and 18th, something like that. Then it stops because obviously the police say they're going to do a report, but I don't believe them. Because in other articles I've seen it say 1 officer shot him, into at least 1 officer shot him. So the stories are so hazy, and I've spoken to his aunt and she called them rumours because they don't know any more than I'm telling you, really, unless they've learnt something in the last day. But they weren't told anything as I talked to them. And then I spoke to another one of his friends, who she also can't understand what happened to him. She's devastated. You know, it's someone you know, and he's gunned down like a terrorist with 21 police cars turning up, or at least 30 soldiers. And even his aunt told me she could see in one picture, obviously on the telly or something, that there was about 30 police officers there. I mean, what the hell could have happened for all that? It's so sketchy, and it's such a lie. But he's dead now. Anyway, he was a human being. I'm going to put a little bit of Ron on, because he was a human being. And I only the other day saw that he put these videos on where you could almost see him, but you can see his mannerisms. You can see what kind of person he was, sort of, because you can't quite see his face, but there's a picture of his face. And then I'm going to play a few more anomalies that I saw in the footage, that is whatever they are. But anyway, let's continue and listen to Dear Ron. And just to add, it's like it was a film. It's like it's not real. It's like a horror movie. It's like those videos that they put out a few years ago when the police were so over the top. Except it happened to him. It happened to someone I know who seemed quite a peaceful person, who was waking up and just had a lot to say. Oh, I just cannot believe. I know they're going to lie. Are they going to tell us which house he was at? What, running away? All just sounds so sad, and at the end of it, poor Ron has gone anyway. So sad. Anyway, let's continue, as I said, with the video. Sorry, a PPS. When talking to his friend, you know, she said that he had licenses for these guns. He had no warrants on, he had no problems. She said, look, if he wanted to shoot in his house, that's up to him. But she said, I don't believe he would have done that. So, on that score, if he wouldn't want to do it in his own home, why would he be at someone's house shooting at someone else? If he'd lived there for years on end, why would he suddenly get up one day and do that? But he was capturing some really weird stuff on his cameras. We're going to play a little bit of it. Anyway, I just find the whole thing absolutely disturbing to the max.
Okay, this video is about my comments I'll leave and people ask me about, and it's too much to write in the comments and too hard to explain in text. You can't get content, you can't feel the energy and the frequency and vibration. That's what I work with. I know other people that work with is going to hear this and know the truth from a lie. The lie don't vibrate right, it lays down here on the floor. Truth vibrates at different resonance. You tune in to thyself, you'll know. Nobody can lie to people. I'll let them because it's entertaining. I used to have an ego. And it exaggerates and adds stuff, but you know, that's the way it is. But you can't lie to somebody that's tuned into themselves, that knows thyself. You can't. And don't believe it. They know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just thought I'd throw that in there, let y'all know why a lie is called a lie. So, if you want to catch a bunch of butterflies, you don't go out there for net and chase them all day long. You can, but somewhere out and be frustrated. It's easier to make a garden, put flowers and stuff butterflies like. And you just sit out there and they come to you. You got to prepare the ground for it to come to. You know, everybody wants to prepare their bodies and stuff, and they do a little bit of meditating and stuff, but they don't really free their mind, or everything you've been taught has been a lie. Let's see what we find. I'll change the colors. Okay, that's the sun in the center. I have no idea what that is. That's what we just seen. I don't know. There's an orb there. And I'll show y'all tomorrow. I'll do another one with me going back and forth. I can't do it except when it's live, so I just cut it on, let it play all day like this, see what it got. And we got something else in the back. Yeah, it's been a minute, but ain't a lot been going on, but we got this going on. I don't know what the hell this is, but we got something and it flashes like it may be a plane, but I've never seen a plane lit up like that. So, I don't know. So, we'll check it out again in slow motion for just a second. Like that, very well could be a plane, could be a UFO. I've never seen a plane look like this and looks. Slow so we can do this. I do think it flashes at some point a couple of times. That sure looks weird, because I've seen lots of planes and I ain't never seen none look like this. Well, like I say, the moon's pretty bright, ain't no doubt about that, but I've never seen the moon light a plane up like that. Usually just one light, then you see the red flash every now and then. So, really don't get it. So, any opinions will be welcomed. You know, I don't care what nobody thinks, as long as you think for yourself, I don't care. This will be the last time. I just wanted to show it again in slow motion, zoomed in a little bit. And I'm ruling out insect. I don't see no wings flapping or nothing that's flying in a pretty straight line, it appears to be. You know, it ain't, I don't know. Seemed like it flashed right there, though. Something did. Flash there. But I'm going to come back with some more videos later. I got a few things that's been going on that's pretty interesting. See if anybody else has experienced it, seen it, noticed it, but peace.
Ron made quite a lot of videos about the things that he could see moving around outside his house. So some people, oh stupid you, it's a spider. But when you see this, and this is in the daytime, there's just something very strange going on. First of all, I thought that maybe that was a, you know, when they fire guns and then they got a target on you. I thought it was that, but I don't think it is, because now it's separated into two. Do you see it as it's moving around here? There's this white thing that's moving around these offices. And you could say it's a bug, but they're filming a little distance away, and then that would mean that that was quite big, that they would know that this thing was there. So then I thought, well, maybe they've put, well, they shouldn't have done, should they? But they've got a gun on them. But you see, it's all like, I don't know what it's like, but it's moving around here, and I thought that was very, very strange indeed. One more time before we go on. Here it is. What is that moving around? But Ron was capturing these things. I'll show you his channel. This is Ron's channel on YouTube. Videos about the funny things his camera is picking up. And obviously there's his videos. I can't quite see his face, but on these videos, but I put a picture in a little earlier of actually what he looked like, so he could be the man in the other picture, but I was suddenly thinking, were they the same people? But anyway, and then let's go and look at his videos very quickly, because he was capturing these things in the sky anyway at his house. I mean, he did some brilliant footage here. This is the just after the eclipse, but even, you know, when he watched a butterfly and all the orbs, he was watching all the orbs coming, he could see them, and that's how we started talking, was the orbs. Yeah. But on here there is a little strange video. He's sort of ranting around, but maybe that's, I spoke to Claudia about that, and he said that it was the energies that had, you know, it got to Ron. But I'm still very upset what happened to him, as we're going to continue with this video. What are those things? They're quite big. I mean, if they were flying around, even if they were butterflies, then they would know they were there, but they don't seem to notice these things are flying around them. Crazy. And then on to this bit. I'm going to add a bit of a video I did in March or something about Mickey. There you go, did you see it up here? Suddenly, out of nowhere, is an orb. And I saw that in my bedroom. I'm going to add that bit of footage after this. Look, there's an orb. You know, in my video, my other little video I'm going to put on, I say, is that my Mickey? So is that Ron? He's even in the news, but a different way. But the news, there were so many news articles, you know, these things, videos, saying what these stories that have gone on. It's all crazy, but we're just looking at the other anomalies I see in the footage. But as I saw that over Mickey, it just comes, you see it, and it disappears. That cannot be a fly, because otherwise, you know, people will go, oh, that's the shutter of the camera. But if that's the case, then the sign would be doing the same thing. The cloud would be flickering because they're moving. A man, when he's walking towards the camera, would do the same thing because he's moving, because the shutter speed of the camera can't keep up then. I don't know what it is, but, you know, in my other video with Mickey, they were saying that that's not a speck of dust, that's an orb. And it's the same thing with that. That's what I see, but anyway, maybe that's Ron. But let's move on. Just probably where I picked the video up, I suddenly realised I could see this orb going across. So we're looking at little Minnie. She's a little sweetie. She loves me, but she hates that cat. I know they're sitting close to each other, but if he woke up now, she'd hiss at him. But there he is, and then there I saw it. Do you see it? The orb which comes across. We're just going to play it a few more times. I couldn't believe it. Was that Mickey? Is that Mickey there? I mean, some people might say that's a speck of dust. But the thing is, it disappears in front of the camera, so how could it be a speck of dust? That's an orb. That's an orb. And it's really strange, because I don't think I would actually see myself in that mirror, but at times I'm wondering whether the orb stops and that's me. But I'm not sure whether I don't know whether I'd be able to see myself at this. I don't know. But it looks a bit like me sitting there with the cardigan on and stuff. I thought that was a bit strange, but that orb goes over his cat. I'd say Mickey loved this cat. I'm not saying he didn't love Minnie. He did love Minnie, but he loved this cat. This was, you know, his little beast. And there you go. Look, if you look in the mirror, it just looks a bit like me sitting there with a cardigan on. Look, there's my head, my shoulder, and it could be me, but I don't know about that. It's just a bit blurry, isn't it? Because I've blown it up. But look at that orb going across the screen. Wow, is that my Mickey? Cool, that would be amazing if it was him.